YouTube. Hi everybody, how you doing? Hope you guys are doing well. So today we're doing a tier listing for anything past the 2.0 update for Honkai Star Rail, and we're gonna just get it going. So we'll probably do is we'll distinguish the female Trailblazer as the tank form with the lance, and then we'll do the male Trailblazer as the destruction form. So to begin, female Trailblazer. First of all, female Trailblazer is better than male. Just the preservation, the tankiness, and all the stats in that just is better. I would probably put her at A. I would put tank at probably A. I might even put it at S, just because I think she's a very solid tank character. But I think for now, we're probably just going to keep her at A, just because I don't think there is a giant area for tankiness in that, but I think for at least a shield character and a tank character, she's probably up there with like Japard in that, but nowhere near like a Fushuan area. Male Trailblazer, or the destruction physical type with the bat, I would put at B tier. He's not the best in terms of destruction physical type characters, because you have Clara, and Clara is just so much better. So ideally, if you can choose, Clara is just the better option. But obviously, you do get the MC at the beginning of the game, you get the Eidolons, you get the free stats and all that. So basically, it's like a nice free-to-play character to have, but he's not the best of characters, but obviously, Hoyoverse kind of piled all the resources into this character, so yes. March, I would put, she's a good character, especially when you can get her up to the E6 of having the healing on top of like the skills and the ultimate and all that. But nonetheless, she is a free character. She's a 4-star character, and I would put her at B. And her shield does do debuff cleansing, so if you don't have a debuff cleanser, it's nice to have her. Like, I definitely had to use her for quite a bit because I didn't have really any debuff cleansing. But we'll put her at B tier. So, but yes, Dan Hun, and this isn't Imbibitor Lude Dan Hun. This is normal Dan Hun, the Wind Hunt character. Yep. That's it. C tier, no questions asked. He is probably one of the worst characters in the game, sadly. I mean, he's obviously, his character model is nice, but he is not the best. So yeah, no. Asta. Ooh, Asta, I actually do like Asta. I think Asta is a good character. Obviously has good has good damage to multiple enemies, as well as her ultimate is a speed boost for your whole team, so it's obviously really nice. I would probably put her, I think she's slightly better than B tier, because I think you can probably use her in like late game scenarios and that. So I would probably put her at A, but I probably put her more like the lower half of A, but I would probably say A tier for her, just because she has a lot of usefulness, especially later on as a nice free-to-play, at least for free-to-play players, she's really good just for nice like support kind of speed up. But yeah, I would say definitely A tier. Arlon doesn't have a lot of uses, sadly. I don't think Arlon is the best. I think definitely needs a tune-up, but it's obviously is a 4-star character in that. So in this regard, we'll do C tier, but he is better than Dan Hun, so we'll put him above Dan Hun because yeah, Arlon is just, yeah. Arlon is not the best, but we appreciate Arlon for who he is. All right, Herta, you do get quite a bit of free Eidolons from the simulated universe and all that, so obviously you can stack her up really nicely and give her some really good stuff. But I should say this, so in recency, you have the situation with Herta and Pure Fiction, where Herta is actually a really, really good character for Pure Fiction, so I think that actually ups her tier and actually makes her a little bit stronger. And overall, too, her, being erudition, having multiple hits, and having just constant hits, just constantly over and over again, I think she's really, really good. I actually would put her, I think I would put her at B tier, but I probably put her at the top of B tier, just because I don't think she's at that A yet, because I think like Himiko would be better. Obviously Argenti is better, Jane Yuan, like any of those other erudition characters, but obviously Herta is a good option for like ice damage type for just multiple enemies in that, but I do think she's a really good option. She has some good, you know, kits and all that, so you can definitely use her. Hook. Sadly, I don't think there is a very good place for Hook, because Hook mostly does a lot of single target stuff, but obviously when you ult, you can hit multiple enemies, but I don't think it really does a whole lot. And even though you get Hook later on in the game around your Reload 6 and Boulder Town and that, I do not think he is the best, so unfortunately, I would say probably C tier. Natasha. Natasha is a nice physical abundance character, does good healing, has a nice debuff cleanse, all that good stuff, but other than that, she is not the best of options in my opinion. Just for abundance characters, I would probably say she's one of the more weaker ones comparative to other ones. I still think she is better than C tier. I don't think she is like the worst, and I think obviously having a abundance character or having someone that can heal is very, very nice to have on a team, like especially when you have like Jing Liu that does constant damage to your team. You have Blade that just hurts himself constantly. Like, it's very nice to have healing, and I always run healing on my team. At least one character is healing, so I think it's always a necessity, and that's why I think at least B tier for Natasha. Sampo. Sampo, nice solid DOT character, nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. Has good damage overall for all, like, hits multiple people in that. I believe, where do I want to put good old Sampo? I think Sampo is a nice, solid character. I'm trying to think if he is A tier worthy or B. I think he's A, because I think he is very solid overall. Just like for having his skill be the bounce, his ultimate being every hit, I'm also just having constant DOTs, and that is just super, super nice. All right. Pela. So this is where we get to the fun part with Pela, or we actually might get above A tier. I actually think Pela, so there's actually a couple of 4-star characters specifically that I think are like the best. And my 2 is probably going to be Pela, and then we'll talk about another one later. But I think Pela is probably one of the best debuff characters you can have in the game. Well, one of the best, at least especially for like free-to-play players, but I definitely think Pela is very, very good. I cannot give her SS just because she is a 4-star character. If she was a 5-star character with those 5-star character stats, she probably would be SS, but I will probably say for the first S, I will give this to Pela because I think Pela is probably one of the best. So I'm at least 4-star wise, I think. So that's why I will put her there. Serval. Serval is a nice solid DPS. I think DPS wise, she is good. She has nice DOTs with a shock, as well as just nice AoE constant damage. Obviously, she ain't the best lightning option because you have Xing Yuan, which Xing Yuan's probably, you know, one of the better lightning DPS characters, other than like Kafka and that. But overall, I would probably put her around below that. But I don't know where I would put her. I would probably put her around... I want to put her at B because I don't think she is the best, but I do like using her, and I've been using her a decent amount just as a free-to-play character, so I've been really, really liking and been enjoying using her. So that's why I'm probably going to put her there. I think I would keep her above those. I think I like her placement because I think she's pretty, like, I think she is useful, but I obviously think there's a lot better options to use. Chinka. So Chinka, I think is a good damage option. I don't think she is the best though, because I just don't think she is the best, because obviously you have better quantum damage options. But probably what I would rate her at, I would probably take her to about, like, probably a... Try and think. I probably would put her around A. I think I would give her A. I think I would give her A in the regard. trying to think, because she's actually a really good damage option, right? And she's really, really useful in the mono quantum comp that I'm like maybe wanting to put her at S, but I think she has a lot of use, and I think I'm gonna do this. I think I'm gonna put her like an A plus tier. Like, she's very close. I think she's probably on that cusp and that edge where like she could be S, but I do think she's really, really good, and I think I also love her character as well, so we'll say for now she's S. We'll maybe adjust this towards the end, and I might throw her at like S minus, but for now I'm gonna throw her around A plus. Shishang. Probably C. Yeah, probably C. Like, unfortunately, she doesn't do a lot of damage. She isn't the best character. She isn't the... in my opinion, I don't think she's the best. So I would probably just put her at C. I don't see... I mean, Shishang as a character is nice, solid, good story, and I love her, like, you know, like her character, like, you know, style and like going, but overall, I don't think she's that great in the game itself, so I would say probably no. Tingyi1. So first of all, she's a fox. That's a plus for me. She's awesome. That's a plus for me. Her E6 is kind of crazy if you get to that, which I do have that, which is really, really nice, and I would recommend. But I would say Tingyi1 is probably the best 4-star character you could have. Period. I think just the utility she offers and like her skill as well as her ultimate is just beyond anything that any other 4-star character could offer. I think the only one that could maybe compete with her is probably Pela and Chinka, and I think Chinka is just because of her utilization in the mono quantum comp, but I also just think Tingyi1 is probably hands down the best in my opinion, so it's probably where I'm... Do we put her at SS? Do we want to do an SS situation? Do we want to do an SS situation for Tingyi1? No, I think for now we'll put her at... I think I'm going to put her at S, but I'm going to put her probably in a good position for S. I just don't think you can give her an SS, but it is a possibility, but maybe we'll put her there later. But I think for now we're just going to keep her at S. Himiko. Himiko is a... you know, probably one of the free 5-star characters you can get at the, you know, the first point in the game. You know, because she's Fox waifu material, we'll do SS. That's why I changed my mind. She gets a plus because of Fox waifu material, but that's it. Himiko. All right. So, A. Probably would do A for her. I think she has very nice, solid, like, stuff. I think in pure fiction, she does a lot better stuff. I would obviously rate her a little more than Herta, just because of overall DPS output, and that you could probably get it off, or get the follow-up attack off way more probably than Herta would. But I would probably say she's better than Sampo. Nah, I'll probably put it there, but yeah, I'd probably put her at a low A. I'd probably put her like in the A- range, but I'd probably say A for sure. Welt. Ooh, Welt. I like Welt. I personally don't play Welt, so I'm not like 100% sure on like if I want to actually put him at a really high rating in that. I personally don't think he is like... I think he's a solid like imaginary character and does damage to multiple people, but I obviously do not think he is like the best DPS option to use as well as like debuffer. Like, I would probably say A is a good place to put him. I probably would put him like maybe like here potentially, just because I do think there's a lot of utilization for him. I think there's actually a decent amount of comps that you can put him in, and I think as a free-to-play option, he's probably a little bit easier to obtain compared to like a Bibiter Lude, or, well, I guess you got Dr. Ratio now, so I actually think that's probably why he went down a little bit, because you probably got a lot of people got the free Dr. Ratio, so Dr. Ratio is obviously going to be more prevalent in imaginary DPS comps compared to Welt. So that's why I put him at A, because I think he has a lot of utilization. He has good overall damage to multiple enemies in that, so I think he is very, very good in that regard. So that's why we'll put him at A, and I'll probably put him about in the middle, so I'll probably just give him a nice solid A. Probably no A minus, no A plus, probably just a nice solid A. Bronya. Bronya, to me, yes, I think she is SS. She is probably, in my opinion, one of the best Harmony characters right now. I think she's very much up there with Ruan Mei. I think Tingyun is also a very solid option, but I think Bronya, just obviously giving crit rate, crit damage, advance forward and action, just so much utilization, and just having that be just for her, I just think it's really, really good. So I would say definitely Bronya for SS. Clara, as I mentioned earlier, probably is your better physical destruction type character to have use in the game. I think she's a very, very solid option. I think she's really, really good overall. Her ultimate obviously gives a lot of follow-up attacks with Svarog, and I would probably put her around the... I probably put her around the S. I probably put her... Do I put her above Pela? I probably put her above Pela. Or nah. We'll put Pela above her. I think Pela just offers so much utilization in comps for me. I'm trying to think if she is better than Shinka, like overall wise. I personally don't think... Okay, I think I'm gonna make a change. I think we're gonna move her up. I'm gonna move her up, and I think we're just gonna, like, those two are just gonna be like neck and neck, in my opinion. Because I think they are basically, they offer the same for me, in my opinion. They offer the same value, like, damage-wise and just usefulness, especially in their specific comps and specific types. That's why I think that they're probably about the same equivalency. So I'm probably going to put them in the S- category, probably. Japard, I think, is a very good tank option. I think if you pull him, he is very, very nice. Provides lots of shields really, really well. Just overall, kind of can, like, keep the team alive and keep them really, really healthy, especially when it comes to late game in that. Because obviously, when you get to late game, that is when you need, like, when like, kind of like tanks and more support characters are more prevalent, as well as just, you know, kind of wanting to use them more and keep your team alive compared to, you know, just burning through the early and mid game just with, you know, whatever characters you want to use. I would probably put him around A. I'm trying to think if I would put him at S, but I don't think I would have... I think I would put him slightly better than the... I think I put him around here. I would probably say A, but I think maybe the bottom of S, just because I like him personally better than any other tank that I play personally. Like, I don't have Fu Xuan, or I would be saying Fu Xuan probably, but I would say, but I do not have Fu Xuan, so that's why I'm going to be putting Japard here, and I'm probably going to put him at S-. I'll probably put him at the bottom, just because I think he just offers a little more utility, as well as just, like, he kind of can apply freeze to characters, and overall, the Trailblazer tank, I think, has kind of fallen off a little bit, sadly, but I think is still a very good option. And that's why I think Japard is better overall compared to the Trailblazer tank. All right, next person that we have is Bailu. So Bailu was my first 5-star character I pulled. I have been using Bailu in literally every single comp I use. I think the thing that I do not like is that she is the only Abundance character that does not have a debuff cleanser. She just has outright healing. And obviously she has, like, the new... or she has, like, the passive with the res, which is really, really nice. I feel like she isn't the best Abundance character, but I'm going to put her at A for the reasoning... or at S, actually, sorry. I'm going to put her at S because she has this place in my team comps quite a bit, especially when I have Jingliu and Blade as the combination of them constantly hurting each other, and I just need a healer to keep them both alive. So I'm like, Bailu for the win. So, so that's why. And I think the thing is too is that I think Bailu can offer a lot of healing and a lot of like support in that regard, and that's probably why I put her at like an S minus range, just because of the overall healing output is just so much greater compared to the like most of the other, you know, abundance characters. But you know, unfortunately she doesn't have the debuff cleanse, so that's why I would put her a little lower. But I do think she has a good place for healing multiple people, as well as her ultimate healing everybody, as well as giving the passive that gets her like extra healing once you get hit. So it's really, really nice and really, really good job. So overall, I would say Bailu S minus. Yang Qin, captain of Team Copium. Yang Qin, for many of us here, is the captain of Team Copium. He is the character that we pull when we lose our 50-50s. And, you know, in that regard, you know, Yang Qin is, you know, has a special place, you know, in the team captain of Team Copium. And unfortunately, I probably would say he is the worst 5-star character in my opinion. I think he is probably in B tier. I don't think he has the best utilization of his kit, as well as his stats are just very, very low comparative to everybody else. But, you know, because he's captain of Team Copium, I'll put him on top of B, because he has a special place in our hearts. But other than that, that's all you're getting. You're getting to the top of B, and that's it. All right, so now we get to go to, I think we're going to start getting to the banner characters now, which is going to be very, very exciting to actually explain. Seele for me, ooh, do I put Seele here at, I believe for sure she is S. I think she's probably currently my top S character. I think she's currently my top S character. I think she's very, very good. I think just having the multiple attacks is really, really great. And just the damage output on her is ridiculous. And also she is a very important character in the mono quantum comp as well. So she has a really, really good spot in that. And I think she's just overall DPS output wise is really, really good. And probably, you know, was the top character for quite a bit when the game first came out, but unfortunately, you know, obviously a lot of banners got pulled in that, and, you know, obviously some people overtaken that spot. But overall, though, she is a very great character to have. She is very good quantum DPS, and probably one of the best DPS characters out there right now. So, for now, we'll put her at the top of S. She's not SS material, but S material will be where she is at. Alrighty. Next, Jingyuan. So Jingyuan, okay, so here's the thing, right? Jingyuan has a special place in all of our hearts. I think Jingyuan is a very, very good character. I love the story of him. I love the voice actor. I love the streamer that voice acts the character, Sayu Shadow. But also, like, he's very awesome. I love the character. He has a special place in my heart, and that's kind of why I'm actually going to put him at S minus, just because I do think he offers quite a bit for lightning DPS wise. I think he's very, very strong, very good, but I think he does get outruled quite a bit compared to like Kafka, in the sense because Kafka obviously is probably one of the best DPSs in the game right now, and honestly is probably good reason why. But overall, like, I do like Jingyuan, and that's why I'm putting Jingyuan there, because 1, story, 2, the character appeal, and 3, I don't know, I just like him, so that's why I'm putting him there. No questions asked, I put him there, and I like it like that. Yukon. So Yukon is also another, good old Fox waifu, material, I mean, we appreciate Foxes here. Especially of waifu material. Yukon, so, I mean, Yukon's been my imaginary character I used before I got Ratio, and like, I do like her, but I've really never found the best build for Yukon that can utilize her whole kit in that as best as possible. And I do think she does take quite a bit of resources. I do think... I'm trying to think, because I would either put her at the top of B, and I think I'm going to put her at the top of B. Actually, no, I'm going to put her at the bottom of A because of Fox waifu material. That's why. That's the only reason why she's going up to B, or to A minus, just because of Fox waifu material. If not, she would probably be at B plus, just because I haven't really found the best build for Yukon, and that utilizes her kit and just be able to like really get the best utilization from her. But I know once you get that build, she's really, really solid of a character. And especially in the imaginary team, she probably is a very useful team or piece in that mono imaginary comp. Silverwolf. So Silverwolf has also a special place in my heart because she was my first limited banner pull. That was the first character I pulled in limited banners. That's the first time I won a 50-50. I pulled a character, limited banner. Was very, very happy. Silverwolf has a very unique debuff and where she can apply, obviously weakness type of your team to an enemy. She's really, really nice, really, really solid. I like her for that reason, and she is very useful in mono comps because she can basically make that type of enemy get weakened to that mono type, like damage type. So she has such a utilization in that department that I would probably put her at SS. Like, she offers so much debuff compared to like that no one can really offer, and she's just so good in those mono like damage comps, and that is like the best about her, and she can fit literally in any comp. Like, she has a very flexible like many options that she can be put into like comp wise, and she's just overall really, really good. And like, and even her ultimate does really good damage defense reduction to like enemies and can really burn through like big bosses and that really, really quickly. So that's why I'm gonna give her SS. Luosha to me is probably the best character. Well, not the best character in the game, but he's probably the best abundance character in my opinion. I think he is the best abundance character. He's very, very good, does really good healing, very, very like with the passive healing, with the ultimate of deep, like that kind of like removes a buff from the team and can get rid of like, reses. It can get rid of just, like ample like damage increases from enemies, and that like it offers so much utility and so much that like not really too many people can offer. And Luosha was a banner I wish I could have pulled for, sadly, but unfortunately I did not pull for Luosha. But I will be putting him... do I put him above Silver? Yes. I think I put him above Silver. I don't think I put him above Bronya, just because I think Bronya is still a very, very good choice for a character. So that's why I'm probably going to put Bronya there, and then probably Luosha next for now. Luca, I like his appeal. I like his character. I do not think he is the best, though, sadly. I do not think he is the strongest of characters, but he has a good appeal. That's why I'm probably going to put him in B tier, and probably is going to go on the bottom, probably there. Like, because I like Luca, but I just haven't really found a good place for Luca in my comps, and mostly it's just to like be a debuff applier. But other than that, like, I don't really see too much usefulness from Luca, so that's why I'm probably going to pass and just put him at B and just call it there. Blade. Ooh, this is when things get spicy. Because here's the thing, right? I think Blade has a very good kit that can be utilized, but you obviously have to like manage his health well, you have to manage his things well, but he is very, very strong, especially when you pair him with Jingliu, because Jingliu's, obviously her her like skills and her talents can hurt people when you get into the crescent moon state, like state, and basically hurts your teammates. And Blade gets, you know, obviously more stacks on his passive when he gets hurt every time, so it's a really, really good like combination with him. But I would think, if I would say with Blade with Jingliu is probably SS Blade, but I think Blade overall as a character and as just, you know, him needing he probably needs a healer on his team no matter what. You need a healer on the team no matter what, like no questions asked, nothing like that. So I'm probably gonna put him at S. I don't think I will put him over. I don't think I can put him over Sela. I think I can put him over everybody else, but I do not think I can put him over Sela. So I'm probably going to put him right there. But I do like Blade, or Bladey, for, you know, some people like to call him. So the next thing, Kafka. As I have stated before, Kafka is indubitably probably one of the best DOT DPSs in the game, and she is overall probably, in my opinion, the best character to have, just because of overall DPS output. She's just crazy. The DOT comp that she leads, and if you pair her with the right people, just makes her a monster in everything. Not even just in like story or pure fiction or late game stuff. She's a monster in everything when you get her the right pieces. And she does so much damage, so much DOT, and if you build her right and have all that, she is going to be the best. Like, she is overall the best, and I am very sad that I do not have this character. And if they ever do a rerun of the banners, which they already did one, I highly doubt they'll do a second one anytime soon. But hey, you know, maybe one day I'll get Kafka and I can, you know, finally have one of the best DOT characters in the game. Lynx. So Lynx is a character that came out more like recently, not like super recently, but like obviously came out like later into the game. Also, I should say this before I go on to Lynx. Kafka is mommy, and we all appreciate her for her and who she is as a person in the community, so that's why she's the best. But yeah, Lynx. Lynx is a good healer, good debuff cleansing, just very, very nice, like healing over time in that. I would probably put Lynx... I do think Lynx is better than... I'd probably put Lynx probably in like the B tier, probably. And I actually, yeah, I think that's what I'm, or no, I think we do A. I think we have to do A. Lynx is really, really nice, and I've been using Lynx a lot more recently into my team comps, just because, like, overall, like Lynx provides so much nice healing, debuff cleansing, and just that healing over time is very, very nice. So that's kind of why I want to... obviously she isn't the best abundance character, but overall she's really, really good, so that's why I like her. Fu Xuan. Fu Xuan is known as probably the best tank in the game. Definitely goes into SS. Probably, in my opinion, probably one of the better characters of the game. I think for now, I'm probably going to put her at second, just because I think she is very, very good. She's has a very high utilization in any comp, in every comp. And if you need a tank, you go to her. Like, that is literally the whole, like, meta, the whole everything is, if you need a tank, Fu Xuan's like your number one option if you have all the characters. Fu Xuan is number one. Dan Hun Imbibitor Lube Day. I think Dan Hun Imbibitor Lube Day, specifically this form, probably offers a lot of DPS, is probably one of the more like solid DPS options out there, other than just being like DOT in that. Probably the best DPS option in the imaginary damage type category, that I would have to probably put him at probably SS, but I probably put him at like third or fourth or fifth, just because He is very skill point heavy, and he is very much needing those resources. But if you have a really nice team that doesn't need those skill points, you can really pump out some damage and really like just destroy entire waves of enemies constantly with him. And as an imaginary type, you know, or I'm not an imaginary type user really myself, because I only have like 1 or 2 imaginary characters, but Imbibitor Lude is probably the best imaginary character, probably up there with Luosha, so that's what I will say. Gwynathan. Gwynathan came out a little more recently as well as a 4-star character. She has some really good debuffs with DOTs, as well as just overall just decent DPS overall, and dealing that. I think I would put her around A, and I actually think she's a little bit higher in that A tier. I think she is probably around like, I would probably put her around, I'd probably put her above Welt, just because she does more debuffing, and that's probably what you would use her a little bit more as, is like debuffing, implying DOTs. And she is a very good option in some DOT comps that you can use if you don't have like Kafka, or if you don't have Black Swan, or just any other DOTs. You can kind of use Gwynathan, and Gwynathan can pump out some good damage overall, or just be a support and applying debuffs to characters to just kind of, you know, really pump up the damage for your main DPS players. Jing Liu. She, on my team, is probably my best character. I love Jing Liu, love the streamer that voice acts her. Probably one of the best characters in my opinion. I don't know if I could give her number 1, just because I think Kafka just does so much. But I probably am gonna put her, I think right now I'm gonna put her at 3rd, because I think Fu Xuan offers so much as like tank, healing, harmony, like just offers so much like utilization of from her kit that helps your team overall so much that it's just like, it's so valuable. Where Jing Liu just does a crap ton of damage. Like, she does so much damage. She does damage to all the enemies, just goes crazy. You max her crit rate, max her crit damage, and you just go crazy and just shred teams. And she is super duper strong, especially when you get her to her Crescent Moon state and you just keep her there the whole round. Like, she can literally wipe waves of enemies in seconds, just because of that overall DPS output is just ridiculous, especially even with ulting and just keeping that Crescent Moon state. It's so good, and that's why I love her, and I think she's probably one of my best, if not the best, DPS character on my team. But overall too, I think she is probably the best, like, overall in that regard. And especially as an ice unit, she's probably the best ice DPS overall in the game right now. Topaz and Numby. So Topaz and Numby, I do not think their damage is very much up there. I do think as a follow-up attack, she is very good. She's very solid. I think she has a lot of good synergies with Dr. Ratio, and that kind of brings her out a little more and kind of makes her flourish a little more, because her weaknesses kind of get covered with Dr. Ratios, because if they can keep following up their follow attacks over and over and can really pump out some damage on like one enemy really well. And that's why I cannot give her SS, even though the aesthetic, obviously you walk around with Numby, the cute little, like, you know, trotter and that. And then even when you're exploring the world, like, Numby is so good at helping you find treasures in that and just making life a lot easier to kind of like get like resources for free to play players. I'm probably going to put her at S. I don't think she's better than Sela or Blade, but I can probably put her around there and probably put her right behind Blade, just because I think she just offers so much more. And she is a very good fire DPS follow-up attack character. Hanya overall is I like Hanya. She just came out recently, and I believe 1.5 or 1.4, one of those patches. She came out. She's really, really solid. A very good physical harmony character. I think she's very, very strong, really solid character. She helps so much for some comps, and that's probably where I probably would put her at A. I think she's probably the best. She's not better than. She's not better than Ting Yan. I think she's probably better than Yukong because I think she's a little bit easier to build. And that's probably why I probably put her around A. And I probably would put her at a nice solid A. And I probably would put her... probably like... and just I'm just going to put her in the middle. I think I'm just going to put her in the middle and just keep her around. Actually, no, I won't. I'm going to slide her. I'm going to put her there. I do like Hanya as a character and design as well. I think she's really, really cool, nice aesthetic, and very cool in the story. Huoho, which unfortunately I did not pull, and I tried to pull for her, and I unfortunately did not get to pull her. And Huoho is probably now one of the best characters, especially in the abundance area. I do think she is SS. I think she's probably in the same ballpark as Luosha, and the reason why I say she's in the same ballpark as Luosha is just because they can offer so much. So Luosha can offer like removing buffs from enemies, where Huoho can actually like debuff cleanse, energy regen, heal, like really good amounts of healing, and just overall just offers so much utilization of her kit that it's just leaps and bounds above many abundance characters. And that's why I think Luosha and her are probably very neck and neck, and you could probably switch them out very easily, especially in the specific situation that you're looking for. But if you either have one of these two, I think she's really, really good. And I honestly think keeping her alive and just making sure she stays strong, and just that constantly just making sure she gets ults in that is just, I overall just think she's very, very good. So that's why I am definitely going to be putting her at SS, because I think she is probably the best, if not second best, abundance character in the game, probably with Luosha, if not right behind Luosha or ahead of Luosha. Argenti, my beautiful man that he is. Argenti, oh man, I love this man. He's great, he's fantastic, he's beautiful. You know, maybe have a man crush slightly on him, but, you know, overall, I do not think he has too much utilization other than just being, he's really, really good in pure fiction. Like, he's super, super good in pure fiction. Probably one of the best characters for pure fiction that you can use. Argenti just offers so much just damage overall to multiple enemies, and can just really pump out that DPS, especially if you can get the second tier ult of like the Rose Bloom, and just, oh, it's so much damage and so much DPS overall. So Argenti is a very, very good character. I do not think I'm going to put him at the bottom of SS just because I pulled him and I'm biased. So he's going in the SS category because I actually think he is a very, very good character. But he is a very good character in those specific situations that I stated. He's not the best at killing solo bosses, but if it's a boss that spawns multiple enemies, he's very, very good in that regard. So I will put him there at the bottom of SS. Juye. So Juye is a good, very good 4-star destruction quantum character. She does really, really good damage overall. She's really good. I believe I would probably put her around A, because I don't think she's up there at the S territory to compete with those other destruction characters. I also think Chinka is probably still maybe a better option, especially if you have E6 Chinka in like the Mono Quantum comp. But if you don't have a really good Chinka, you could definitely use Juye in that and probably be okay. I haven't played too much Juye, so I can't really give the best of opinion, but just from my observations and research and just looking at her gameplay overall, I would probably put her at A, and I probably would put her probably in the middle, because I don't think she fits in too many comps, but I do think she is a very good character if you need quantum destruction damage. Dr. Ratio, the wonderful fancy man that kind of looks like me apparently. So, which, you know, I got in some comparisons, but obviously, you know, we have our differences, but, you know, I'm close. But Dr. Ratio is a very good character. I think he's very, very solid. I think especially paired with Topaz is a very, very, very strong character because they just cover each other's weaknesses and can just really shred a character. And I don't know if I can give him SS just because... do I give him... I think we're gonna... yeah, we're gonna give him... Actually, no, I'm going to give him the top of S. I'm going to give him the top of S because I do think he offers a little more DPS output compared to Topaz and Numby, just because, like, your damage can also, like, you have a lot of damage in general with your kit. With Numby, Topaz and Numby, it's mostly with your follow-up attacks, but with Dr. Ratio, you have just so much DPS output from just your own, like, your skill, your ultimate, and then your follow-up attack also does quite a bit of damage. So, like, you just overall have better damage output from him compared to Topaz and Numby, but together they are very, very good characters themselves. And especially when you're paired together, like in my scenario, I think they're very, very strong together. But... like, I cannot put Dr. Ratio in, like, SS just because he's very niche and very, like, you kind of need him in some specific comps. But he is also a very good free-to-play option for DPS players and for very much just, like, if you need a DPS output imaginary character and you don't have Inhibitor Lude, you can use Dr. Ratio. But with Topaz and Numby, you can't really rely on that as a main DPS option, sadly. But with Dr. Ratio, you could definitely use him as a main damage option. Ruan Mei. Ruan Mei... ooh, man. Ruan Mei is probably now... I would say is... she is probably now, I would say, the best Harmony character. She is, in my opinion, very, very strong, very, very good, does so much to multiple enemies in that, and can really shred, like, you know, toughness in that, very strong. I believe to put her... I'm going to put her... I think I'm going to put her... I have to put her above Bronya, because I think she's better than Bronya. I think they both have such their utilizations, but I have to put Ruan Mei. And, you know, maybe I'm a little biased because Ruan Mei is more attractive, and, you know, maybe that's the bias part of me. But, like, Ruan Mei just offers so much more overall just for enemy shred, where Bronya very much offers just like one DPS pump option of just like destroying. So like I think they both have their like specific good situation that you can put them into, but just Ruan Mei for me is just that Harmony character that you gotta have, that is so good and does a really, really good job. And now, for the final moment, the last few characters, we are going to do the 2.0 characters that just came out just recently. So we're going to start with Misha. And Misha is the bellboy in the hotel, if you don't know. And if you don't know, that's a spoiler, I'm so sorry. But he is the bellboy, and he's very apparent in all the trailers and that, so yes. Misha is overall, I love his character. I think he's really, really cool. I like him. He's really nice. I don't know if I can put him in that. I probably can't put him. I probably can put him up around Juye, just because they both offer very similar stuff, because they're both destruction type path characters, and you know, one's quantum, one's ice, but they both offer a very similar kit and very like same options for like a team, and that's kind of why I kind of put them around the same, and I probably just kind of mix them together, and I would say that's probably where I would put them. So that is where I will put Misha for now. All right, now for the limited banner characters. Black Swan. Ooh. Black Swan, I think, is very good. I think she's very good, really strong overall. I think has a really, like, if you get a really good build, if you get her effect hit rate up to like 120, have the really good amount of speed, you can really pump out damage. And she is a very good, reliable DOT option, especially if you don't have Kafka, like in my situation. But she is overall just really good DOT wise, and just a really good damage source, like comparative. But not only that, Black Swan could be like a really good DPS option, she can also be a very good like sub DPS support option, just as like a debuff applier in that to enemies and that. And like, and yeah, she might need some help overall with DPS output, and that's kind of why she's probably a really good option in like with Kafka and that. But overall, in that regard, I'm going to put her at SS only because I pulled her, and she's, and I'm a little biased. I love her aesthetic. She is probably one of my favorite aesthetics for characters, and I'm very obsessed with Arcana, and she fills that to the T. And yeah, that's where she's going. She's going to SS. And now, finally, we have Sparkle, which Sparkle is supposed to come out at the end of February right now. Sparkle, where do I put Sparkle? I feel like Sparkle is very hard for me to put somewhere, just because, like, I did see a little bit of her kit, and I think she does quite a bit of stuff. And, I'm honestly probably just going to do this because I love her aesthetic as well. And I also think she will be very good, and I think she is also kind of in that same ballpark with she's in that same ballpark, I think, with Black Swan. So that's why I will put her at SS, and I'll put her next to the pretty boy Argenti. And I believe I like this tier list. I think it's really good. I think I put people where they need to be. I think I gave everyone their proper respects. I might be a little biased towards some characters based off of their aesthetic, but there's nothing wrong with a little bit of that. So I guess that is my tier list. So hope you guys enjoyed.